So in the last video, we spent the entire time spraying down the Civic and giving it a fresh new paint job. And now the Civic is officially all one color. Hello and welcome, my name is Kevin, and if you guys are new here, welcome to the series where I'm building this Honda Civic using only parts that I find here at the Junkyard. Alright y'all, out here at the Junkyard once again. I'm finally back after painting the car, so yeah, it's time to go look for some parts. I'm at one of my local yards, one of my favorite local yards. Fun fact, we're at the Junkyard that we previously found this RX-7 at. I'm actually here to look for a specific car. I'm not going to be looking for anything Civic-wise. I gotta find some replacement parts for a CRV. So yeah, I'm just here to check out the yard. Hopefully they have the car. I saw it online. Hopefully it's still here in one piece. But yeah, in the midst of looking for the CRV, hopefully we could come across some really cool vehicles. If I'm being honest, I haven't been to the Junkyard in quite a while because I've been, stressing over that paint job. I'm really excited to come here and, just check out the yard, see what kind of cool stuff they have. Oh my God. Speaking of, I just turned the corner and saw something insane. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Guys, this is actually the very first time that I've seen one of these here at a Junkyard. Normally they're around my neighborhood, like in driveways broken down and picked apart. Dang, it looks like it used to have a body kit on it as well. Wow guys, so we just stumbled across a very underrated Z, which is the 300ZX. Specifically the Z32 model. And what's cool is that some of these even came twin turboed. I actually used to make fun of these cars because it kind of reminds me of like it looks like a cockroach. Just because of how wide it is and like the headlights kind of, I don't know. But what about y'all? What do y'all think about Z32s? Less known, people don't really work on them. But now I wonder why this one's been junked. Maybe it was in some type of accident since the bumper was ripped off. But let's go ahead and take a look inside and check this thing out. And hey, looks like this one still got the engine inside of it. And for the most part, this car seems to be in a decent state with most of its parts still intact. I quite like how the interior panels had this tan suede on it. I've been thinking I might do the same for the Civic, but with black suede. But again, it's always sad to see such an awesome enthusiast car end up here at the Junkyard like this. But for someone restoring their very own Z32, this would be the jackpot. And also here's the funny thing, right next to this 300ZX is a Satan Sentra. Yeah, for some reason this caught my eye because it looked like it had some aftermarket parts on it. I think back in the day, these cars also had a crowd that liked to modify and mess around with these Sentras. My friend has a Sentra, so I almost want to take this front bumper and install it into his car, as well as the taillights. Alright y'all, let's move along. Whoa, look at the color on this thing. With this shade of pink, it's definitely giving me some girl boss vibes. All it needs is those big eyelashes in the front. I should have painted the Civic this color. It's actually surprising that this is a full-on paint job instead of just a wrap. Alright, and here's some more cool cars we came across. We've got a Honda Fit here, and hey, y'all remember when we found those HFP wheels on a previous Honda Fit? Well, ever since then, I've been hoping to find the last wheel, but no luck so far. But as we look inside here, looks like this one's equipped with a manual transmission, which always makes the car more fun to drive. And also it's got this steering wheel with the airbag still intact. Before I picked up the TSX steering wheel, finding a Honda Fit wheel was actually my first option, but every single one that I came across already had a busted bag inside of it. Oh, and a potential item is that I was looking for the front lip as well. I've seen a couple of pictures online where people threw it onto their Civic, and it looks pretty decent. Alright, so another enthusiast car that we're walking up on is actually a Mazda Miata. And hey, I think we've seen this one before. Surprised to see it still here. And in the previous video, you guys in the comments were telling me that the trunk is actually the OEM location for the battery, and that it gives it a better weight distribution. So that was nice to learn from you guys. Yeah, I think that was the Miata that we've seen previously in one of the earlier episodes. No, guys, not the neighborhood ice cream van. What? Yeah, we must be in really bad times right now if even these guys are going out of business. I remember the good times just playing outside in the front yard and having this guy pull up. As a kid, I loved to get the cartoon characters because some of them came with gumballs for the eyes. And my second favorite would be this lemon ice cream cup. Who wants some ice cream? You want that one? Well, we ran out of ice cream, so here's some old oil. You know what would be really cool? If instead of ice cream, it would be a mobile, like a local mobile parts vendor. You know, when you're outside in your driveway working on your car, you just have this guy pull up with random bolts and parts that you need for yours. And next up, we've got this Lancer with some aftermarket goodies on it. I see these riced out with Temu parts on the road pretty often, and chances of them being at the yards are pretty good actually. And yeah, they usually have some fun parts to take off, like this hood for example. I'd say just give it a quick sand and a repaint and it'll look good as new. And of course it's got the classic eBay hood pins. And I thought this e-brake handle was pretty neat. I'm curious to know if this is aftermarket though, so y'all go ahead and let me know if it is. And it seems like this car came with paddle shifters as well. Never really a fan of these though. I'd much rather clutch in and shift through the gears myself. And it's got some fun little parts like carbon wrapped interior. Just some fun little mods all throughout the car. I'm sure the previous owner had his fun with it. Yep, if I had a Lancer, this, I'd be picking parts off of this. Alright, so now let's move on to the star of today's episode. What we've got here is a first generation Honda CR-V with the beautiful electronic blue pearl paint color. This thing's pretty beat up and trashed, but let's take a look inside and see what's left. Well, for the most part, I see most of the interior. But yeah, there's just a bunch of junk thrown in here. And somehow, the original key is here for me to unlock the back, so let's just pop this open and get a better look. Now, originally, when I first came across this CR-V, I was just gonna pass by it and not even bother to check because the trunk area is usually empty. But with seeing all this trash packed back here, my gut feeling told me that maybe no one's bothered to look underneath. And guys, I'm so glad that I decided to stop and check. Cannot believe this is still in here. Yeah, these tables are usually first to go when it hits the junkyard. Yeah, it's going home with me. Man, I'm so happy that I decided to check the trunk because this table is actually what I've been searching for every time that I see a CR-V. Yeah, this was an item that I felt like I would never come across, but here we are today. Man, how lucky is that? Oh man, I was worried about this. I think I see the CR-V, but I just barely noticed it because, well, it has the entire front end just completely removed. And well, the thing is, I needed the front end. I was looking for the grill, the bumper, and everything along with it. Looks like someone got to it first. But besides the front bumper that I actually needed, I thought it was fun to find that this CR-V had a bar on the back of it so that you could hook up a hitch and tow stuff behind it. Yeah, if I had a way to lift up the car, I'd take that home. Looks like I'll have to be searching more junkyards to find it. Bummer, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. At least I found today's item. It's not necessarily for the Civic build, but I'll be using it as my workbench. And here's a fun little find in the parking lot outside of the junkyard. This caravan next to me had a DC Sports exhaust tip installed onto it, which is pretty funny because you would typically find something like this on a Honda instead. Hey, even though we didn't find anything for the Civic, we still managed to find some treasure. That's the thing about the junkyard, you never know what you're gonna find. It's always fun to just come across random little gems like this. Every time I go to the junkyard, this is an item that I've always been searching for. Every time I pass by an old CRV, these Honda CRV tables, they're usually first to go. Anytime you would check the back, it's always gone. At least when I do. Honestly, I was just gonna pass by that thing because from experience, they're never usually in there. I'm really glad that I checked, but yeah, this will be my new workbench. Finally done with the paint job. In the next clips I'm gonna show here, I'm gonna show off me just spray painting the rest of the parts, like, you know, the spoiler, side skirts, door handles, etc. So, yeah, the car's pretty much disassembled right now, so let's go ahead and get to work. I want to get this thing on the floor by this episode. Alright, so before we can throw the rest of the parts onto the car, I've still got to spray paint them, so I'm out here with everything set up, ready to go. I've even got the spoiler suspended so that I can get full coverage. And then I'll just be using the leftover material from last time to spray down the parts. Now we've got them all primered up and ready for base. But once it's all dry, I'll proceed to wet sand it smooth with 400 grit sandpaper. And then once we're done with that process, we'll finish it off with a yellow base coat and then seal it off with a clear coat. I barely had enough material left for the base and clear, so I tried my best to get it all sprayed down with just one full paint cup. Definitely wish I could have done more layers though, but it's all good. Alright, all of the extra parts are all sprayed down and pretty much I just gotta let it dry. And once they're dry to the touch, we're gonna go ahead and throw it onto the car. Okay, and to start off simple, I'm gonna just go ahead and throw on these side moldings that are just held in by clips. All you gotta do is pop them right back into place. And for this last piece, I must have broken off the tabs or must have lost them or something, so I'm gonna have to hit the junkyard once again to go find those. But for now, let's just take care of the other side. Alright, now for the gas tank door. This is just held in with 2 bolts, so it should be fairly easy to put back together. And for the rest of these small parts, I'm gonna go ahead and skip over that and switch to the rear end. The door handles are going to be the most annoying to put back together, so I'm gonna just save that for the very last. But hey, let's see how these clear Junkyard taillights look compared to the OEM red ones, now that we finally have the car spray painted yellow. Curious to see how this will look. If I'm being honest, I don't love it. It really does feel like a Need for Speed Underground 2 set of taillights. I think I'm definitely gonna go OEM. Oh man, guys, just real quick, I just noticed that I did not get enough coverage. It was a little hard to spray it down while it was hanging from the ceiling, I guess, but yeah, bummer. Really, that was kind of the issue with the entire car. As I'm looking at it now, once it's all fully cured, yeah, yellow is a very transparent color, and gotta make sure you get full coverage. Whatever. Hey, the taillights look a lot better with everything else on the car. You know, with the spoiler and the lip kit added onto it. Yeah, it gives it a little bit more of like a modified look. Alright, now it's time for the front end. I think I'm just gonna take off the bumper and assemble it on the CRV table. Yeah, I'd rather assemble it off of the car than to be underneath there trying to bolt it in. Guys, I'm gonna show you exactly why you're supposed to spray the bumper separately off of the car. As we get a closer look at the bumper, I clearly wasn't able to get enough paint down here near the bottom of the lip, or around these corners. Yeah, while the bumper's still on the car, it's just a lot harder to get the spray gun in these hard to reach angles, so I think I'm gonna have to invest in one of those stands that can hold up specific body parts for me to actually spray paint and get full coverage. But besides that, let's continue to assemble the front bumper and get it onto the car. I know the headlights are hazy and dusty. Everyone was ragging on me for last time when I painted the RSX. I should have cleaned off the headlights, but I'm gonna do that another day. Right now, I kind of just want to see the car all complete, wheels on, drop it to the floor. But for now, it's just gonna be a little hazy. Just bear with it. Alright, now that the rear end and the front end is put together, let's go ahead and throw on the side skirts and whatever else we need to throw on. And actually, I didn't spray paint the side mirrors, I just left them black. Mainly because I still need to swap out the internals with the OEM ones, since these don't really fit onto the car correctly. But I'll just be using these for now. Alright, so now we just gotta throw on the wheels and drop it onto the floor, and then we can see the final results of how it all looks together. And wow guys, I don't know what to say. It's just so satisfying to see the car finally all in one piece. We've got all of our Junkyard parts on there and spray painted all one color. Man, I think it looks amazing. Thank you guys so much for following along this Junkyard journey. It's been a long project and it's finally coming together after almost 20 episodes. However, I still plan to search for more parts, so this series still has many episodes to go. I'm thinking this Honda Civic will basically be my forever project, so I hope y'all will stick around for more of the content I'll be doing with this thing. But also, I have other series that I have planned with the cars that y'all have seen in my driveway, so make sure you stay tuned for those as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up now. Like always guys, I appreciate the love and support y'all been giving this video series. In the next video, I think I'm gonna be working on the interior as well as finding new tires so that I can actually start driving the Civic around. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.